Develop a fortune state of mind, state of mind. It's time for a date with, time for a date with the Dorseys.
Hello, 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 and welcome to A Date with the Dorseys. This is Dr. Jatan.
And I am Floyd Dorsey.
Hence, the Date with the Dorseys. Welcome, welcome, welcome back, guys. We are so excited to chat with you yet another week. This week, we'll be talking about a great topic. Of course.
How great?
I mean, it's big. It's huge. It's humongous. But it's called, our title today is Dare to Make More Purposeful Commitments.
Sometimes we overcommit.
A lot of times. I would say most of the time we overcommit.
Sometimes we undercommit too, though.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It could go both ways. Absolutely. So, but what we wanted to do in this session is truly get to some points of where you can consider while you're determining whether or not you should accept a commitment or not. Because we get into that state of accepting too much or too little and feeling overwhelmed or underappreciated,
exactly,
underachieved. Right. All of those things. So these are just a few things, I would say, some questions to ask yourself before you truly commit to certain things. And it's considering what it is that you can offer up, in essence, right? And something I heard recently, or I think it was actually this week or this past week, that I was listening to a motivational speech, right? And it was by, I believe, Lisa Nichols, right?
Okay.
And she mentioned, she made a statement that really caught my attention, and it comes to mind now as we're talking about this, and that is the life that you're living now is not a life sentence. It's your choice.
Okay.
Right?
It's
choice. Not a life sentence, it's a choice. And to me, that meant that wherever you are, whatever you're doing now, it's not something that you're stuck with if you're unhappy, right? It's a choice that you've made that led you to where you are.
It's a choice that you made that led you to where you are. Mm-hmm. And it's a choice you make every day to stay where you are.
Exactly. And then there's a choice you can make to be somewhere different tomorrow. Absolutely.
It's all choices.
So now, as we talk about that, let's go into this first question. So when you are faced with an opportunity, you are faced with some things to do, like whether it be a career, opportunity, a task at work, whether it be an organization that you've been invited to join.
Or somebody may come to you with a problem to help them solve for their own respective business or whatever it may be.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah.
So in those instances, the first question you should ask yourself is this my wheelhouse? Mm-hmm. In other words, do I even have the expertise to offer what is needed to fulfill this commitment?
Right, exactly. So oftentimes we find ourselves taking on things that are outside of our wheelhouse, mm-hmm. right? And that is a question that you must understand, because if it's not in your space, one, you may find yourself being stressed out or overly stretched too thin to do something that you really don't have the desire or the skill to actually do and fulfill.
Yeah.
And so now you're putting yourself in such an uncomfortable state of confusion, stress, or whatever it may be to actually carry it out. Now, what I will say is there's a thin line between knowing what's in your wheelhouse and then understanding things that are just stretching you a bit. Some things may be slightly in your wheelhouse, and you may have to brush up on some of the skills, or it's stretching you to become more, it's demanding more of you to help you grow, while other things may be completely out, and it's probably best to recommend or refer that individual or that task to someone else that's more suitable for.
Absolutely. I've seen instances where I know coaching is very popular these days, life, business, whatever type of coach that you may be interested in. And I've seen or heard of instances where folks are pretty much turned off because of what they received or the lack thereof of what they received from coaches because they were promised certain things, right? So that just goes back to your point of knowing exactly what it is that you can deliver. First of all, knowing what your promise is, but then also delivering on it, which I often hear the point that you should, or the goal that you should have in this instance is to
undersell and over-deliver.
There you go. See, I knew you see? He got me. He got me there. Undersell and over-deliver. And oftentimes we oversell and then under-deliver.
Short.
Right.
Absolutely.
We fall short of the goal.
And it's very simple. It's easy to say, hey, I see that you're in need of X, Y, and Z. My specialty is A, B, and C. However, what I can do is refer you to Dr. Jatan, who specializes in X, Y, and Z. Exactly what you need. Better yet, I can do a warm transfer. Here's a number, or I'm going to call her and introduce you to her, or let's meet up for coffee and I'll make a warm introduction for that, because your needs are very important to me. And my goal is to help people achieve their goals. So making those introductions certainly is within my wheelhouse, right? Because my goal is to help you achieve and fulfill your goals and your dreams.
Yeah.
While I can't satisfy your immediate need, I have someone who specializes in that area that can deliver for you.
Right. That's good. And sometimes we feel like we have to take it all in. We have to do everything because we're concerned about the money. We're concerned about losing a customer or an opportunity if we say no. But again, the question is this my wheelhouse? If it's not, then your answer is no, right?
That's it.
Okay, but if it is your wheelhouse, the next question would be, is this in alignment with my goals? So now we're asking, is this something that truly will get me a step closer to that ultimate goal of mine in my life, in business, in love, whatever that coinciding perspective of life is? Does this get me where I need to go? Or is this taking me into a completely different direction?
Right. And when you hear that question, it may sound a bit selfish, right? But I like to say it's more self-full, right? Because the things you do should bring value to your life, right? Whether if it's helping someone out, or if you're doing a favor, or if you're pouring into someone from a business standpoint, it should bring some value to your life to help you achieve your goals. Now, your goal in the instance that we just named, that someone comes to you for advice or for help or for your services, and it's not your area of expertise, your overall vision and goal may be truly just to pour value into other people's lives and to change the world one person at a time. While what the services they need is not in your wheelhouse, you making that introduction can still help, right? Introducing them to the person that has that skill can help you achieve your ultimate goal. That's satisfying, right?
Yeah.
So just knowing how that really works out and how things really play out for you is very important, and the alignment for your goals.
That's good. So just not, I know earlier we talked about being self-full and, not selfish. But in this instance that you just described, I can see how you're saying, even if my goal is to achieve a certain thing with my business and it's not my expertise, I can push this over to someone else that, for one, the customer, client, or whomever can benefit. And then for two, that person that I referred them to is benefiting as well, which means I'm still making that impact in the world.
There you go. Still making it. And then what happens from there, right? Now, the person you refer them to saying, hey, thank you. It's a sense of reciprocity. Now that I know someone, I want to bring them now more to you.
Yes.
And the person you sent to them, they're saying, wow, I appreciate you for saving my time, my energy, and making the connection. You changed my life. How can now I support you and pour back into your business and what you're doing? So it all works together.
Circle of life, right?
That's it.
Love it. Okay, so then the third question, do I have capacity?
And that's always a big question. Right?
Right? Can I fit this into my schedule where I have so many other things going on, right? And it may mean that your schedule is packed, but you may be able to delegate certain tasks to other people and you can still possibly take it on. So there are different ways to look at this, but overall, and in essence, you have to truly say, can I do this? Do I have time to do this without being stretched, without being stressed?
Stressed, yes.
And stretched.
And stretched too thin, right? I like a good stretch, right? But when you're stretched too thin, where no one can get value from you in no particular areas that you're expected to deliver on your promise, then that's a problem, right? So you have to really think critically about that. Now, oftentimes we find ourselves doing things that are just full of clutter, right? We're just busy, just doing stuff that really brings no value, no true value to your life and to the lives of those that are around you. So I think it's very important that at least once a year, once a quarter or so, that you just do a purge, right? From all the activities and things that you're doing. And from that standpoint, then you can truly answer this question properly. Because if you're looking at it through the lens of all the busy, mundane stuff that I have to do I have capacity? Then everybody would say, no, I don't have capacity for anything else in my life.
Because that's what everybody wants, more time.
That's why I haven't started my new business. That's why, we'll always point back to that point. We don't have time to do anything more than what I'm doing today.
Right.
So again, I recommend before answering that question, really do a purge, right? And understand what this, other aspects of other businesses or whatever it may be that could bring for your life and to help you achieve your goals. And really, if you had a clearer plate, a clearer insight into your capacity and your availability, I think you'd truly be able to assess and answer that question properly.
So knowing exactly what it is that you currently have on your plate.
That's it.
And then looking at those things and saying, is this still a benefit to me?
I think that'll probably be a whole nother session
within
itself, just knowing what's on your plate, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Some people really I hadn't taken time to really think about what's really on my plate. They're just working through what's on the plate.
Yes.
And haven't really
not even realizing that some of these things I necessarily don't have to do, shouldn't be doing, could delegate. Right. But we just keep pushing through it.
And pushing through it, or we just push it, a punt, what we call it in football. You just punt it a little bit further ahead, or moving the mess a little bit further ahead, and you keep running back into the same mess.
Yes.
And it's still there, right? So some things you can really take off the plate altogether to really be able to truly assess what capacity you do have and what you do not.
Right.
So, again, it's 3 key points, 3 key questions.
Mm-hmm. And they are, first, is this my wheelhouse? Is it in my wheelhouse? Second, is this in alignment with my goals? And then finally, do I have capacity?
Great questions.
3 quick questions.
Real quick.
But it will definitely get you started, because some of you may stop at number 1. Is this my wheelhouse? No. Okay, that's the end of the story. Then my answer is no.
Yeah,
I can't take it on. But otherwise, you can move forward through those next 2 questions. But I hope that you all enjoyed the topic for today, and that you can use this as you continue to make, especially in this new year, make decisions as far as your commitments in your life, in your love, and in business, and making them purposeful. Purpose. I cannot talk today. Purposeful.
There we go.
Yeah, so that's what we intended to offer you today, and I am sure that you got that. So before we go, of course, we got the contest still. This is the
running.
Last week, right?
This is the last week.
This is the last week. So again, we have a couple things that you'll need to do to be a winner of the contest to win a date with the Dorseys. And of course, you'd have to be the first person to do this. So let's run it down. First thing is, on my Facebook page at DRJATUN, the business page, make sure that you like each of the posts for this month.
For the month of January
2018.
That's it.
Make sure that you like each of the posts for the podcast for Date with the Dorseys, and then share those posts out to your peeps, right? Make sure you're sharing this and not being stingy with all the good juicy nuggets that we're sharing weekly here. And then for third, what was third? Do we remember what's third?
Number 3, you have to send us a testimony.
Yes!
That's it.
See, he on it today, y'all. Third thing is, send a testimonial to our email address, support@fortuneenterprise.com. That is IVTUNE, enterprise.com. Make sure you let us know what you think about the podcast. Let us know what you'd like to hear. Any testimonial is greatly appreciated. And if you have questions outside of that, just feel free to email us. So with that, we are going to call it a
day.
Another day.
Another day, another date.
With the Dorseys. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Develop a fortune state of mind, state of mind. It's time for a date with, time for a date with the Dorseys.